So the next attack I like to look for from here is the matrix when I have this underhook on this leg. This is also super strong if they try to posture up to row out of that omoplata because it's putting more weight in their legs here. So now I'm gonna swing my leg around, catch right in the back of his knee here, and I'm gonna start reaching for the back of his pants here. From here, I'm gonna come up onto my elbow, slip my other knee behind, and fit into that like crab ride style position and take the back. It's really important whenever you go for a matrix, you want to make sure that your shin is going to be perpendicular to his leg and directly in the back of his knee here. You don't want to be too high or too low or be even too shallow. You want to be like right in the middle of your shin on the back of his knee, or else you could end up hurting your own knee here. So I'm here, I'm gonna do a big swing, catch here. Reach up for the pant, retract my arm, come up, bring my leg behind, and get to the back here. I wanna make sure too that when I reach for the pants, I'm creating tension with that pull and using that pull to help me get up onto my elbow and pull my knees out behind him. Here, I'm pulling, he postures up maybe because he's defending that omoplata attack. Big swing, reach, and I'm immediately using this grip to connect him to my hook and get me up onto my elbow. And catch. One more time. And take the back. The next thing I always look for from here is entries into single leg X. If there's ever space for you to fit your foot on the hip and just dip your knee underneath your partner so that way you can get all the way into an X guard here, feel free to do that. It's super, super strong and you can always get right back up and sweep them. But sometimes your opponent will do a really good job closing their knee or closing their elbow and you can't quite fit inside yet. So what you're gonna do is take your outside leg, bring it under their armpit. You're gonna guide their arm away with your hand and pressing on their armpit here. And that's gonna open up all of this space for you to pummel inside for that X guard here. From here, I really like to threaten over the top sweeps. So likely the partner will drop onto his knee, which is going to allow me to come up here and sweep. Again, if you can ever just dip your knee and get into the X guard more simply, do that. But if your partner's doing a really good job defending, I'm going to bring my foot on the inside, pull this arm away, press his armpit really far away from me and dip my knee on the inside. Hide my hook, and then come all the way up here. And this is a great passing position for you to end with, like a throw by or something too. I have this underhook here. I want to get into this X guard and I don't have space yet. Bring this foot into the armpit, press away, fit my foot in here. Immediately start working to come up. From that same X guard position with this cross sleeve, you have a great opportunity to overhead sweep your partner. I like to set this up by threatening coming up, so that way they have to press back into me. So I'm going to redirect all of that pressure and lift and sweep them overhead. When I go for this sweep, I want to make sure that my inside X guard hook is in at their near side hip here. I don't want it across and I don't want it like on this thigh here. I want it kind of pressing right into the knot of their belt or their belly button. So that way I get a really good purchase on lifting their hip here. Press them away. And then if I need to, I can scoop my hips a little bit more underneath too. And then go here. I'm trying to also keep my hooks connected to him the whole time, all the way through the sweep. Here. So the attacks we've looked at from this position so far have been the omoplata, the matrix, and the single leg X entries. Something else I love to throw out here too, if you're good at waiter sweeps or if you just want to practice them and start investing in that move right now, is going for a waiter sweep from here. First thing I'm going to do is dip my knee like I'm getting into that X guard position, pulling his weight to me here, bringing this hook from his knee to his butt, and then I'm going to invert underneath him here and catch that crab ride position from the back. When I go for this move too, I'm really focused on bringing his weight off of me first. So I dip this knee in, and I'm using this foot behind his knee to pull him all the way open here. Then from here, now I'm focusing on inverting and pulling myself underneath. So this foot goes from his back of his knee to his butt. Then I bring myself underneath here. If you don't quite have the mobility for that yet, one thing I do too, especially with a heavier partner, is I'm gonna support my own thigh as I roll underneath to help me spin a little bit stronger. So I'm dipping my knee inside, opening up his base, spreading him out, moving my foot, and then I can bring my hand under my thigh if I need a little bit more help inverting underneath somebody who's a little bit heavier. One more time. Let's do it from here. So I dip my knee under, pull, open his base all the way up, and catch. Finish the waiter sweep. So the next position we're going to look at from here is a berimbolo from this underhook position. From here, I want to start off balancing him towards his butt. I can either do that by pushing at his ribs and pulling the sleeve this way, or stomping on the mat and pulling on the sleeve. Either way, I'm looking to drop his butt close to me. I'm not pressing him too far away. I'm going to drop him close to me and then immediately get a grip on his back or his belt and pull myself in close, making sure that I have my frames with my legs, reaching for that far knee, and finishing my berimbolo. You can utilize your De La Riva hook and your press and pulling on the sleeve to help drop his hips a little bit closer, so that way you're closer in on this berimbolo here. Here. If you can too, if you can reach for the back, as you feel him falling where he's not going to regain his base, reach for his back before his back is flat on the mat where it's hard to get that deep grip. Definitely do that. Here, I have this underhook De La Riva style position. If I need to too, I can make space, kick, push, pull, stomp, and get in nice and tight. Finish this burp. One more time. Yeah. The next position we're going to be looking at from here, I call it the cheater back take, because it's just like ungodly easy, you know, like it's kind of just a shortcut to the back here if you're ever playing underhook De La Riva and you can drop their knee on the mat. So I'm going to make sure I'm bicep curling and extending my de la Riva and twisting his knee to the ground as I press this back leg away here. If I can get here, I have like an entirely clear path to his back here. I'm gonna grip, switch my hooks, and take his back here. If you wanna hit this like cheater back take, make sure you keep your de la Riva hook strong and it's like twisting into his hip as you're like bicep curling his foot into you here. Press here. Immediately cover the hip, then you can start scooting away and switching your hooks to take the back. Here, pressing away, twisting all of this to drop his knee to the mat, cover, scoot, and take the back. One more time. Let's go here. Making sure I'm switching my hooks so I don't get knee barred in the process. Just take the back here. The next thing we're going to be looking at here is inverting kind of behind him for a waiter style sweep. So here, especially if he starts to posture up and stand really tall, I'm going to swing my leg all the way around, catch this far hip, underhook, and use that to come up and sweep. The taller he stands, the easier it'll be to really connect yourself with this far leg, because he has to bring it in close in order to stand up super tall. Invert, catch, underhook the other leg, and come up. Making sure this whole time too, that my hooks are really sticky and I'm attaching my feet into this little like hip pocket. Here he goes to posture up. Swing, catch, get ready to underhook this leg. And if he's trying to stay strong on top, I'm gonna do a little bit of a leg press and keep my arms tight to me so his legs don't get too heavy on my arms. Underhooking, he goes to stand up tall. Maybe he breaks his grip. Swing under and catch. Help pull myself underneath. If I need to, I can leg press him up here and then come all the way up on top.